Check 1, 2, 10 minutes of exercise, day 14. We're getting closer, 7 more days left. Yes, hopefully you got all your Christmas shopping done. Okay, so today we're just going to do some yoga, some light stretchy. I'm going to put a little more attention onto the legs. Had a pretty heavy leg day a couple days ago, and I am still feeling it in my hammies, okay, moon over my hammy. So we're just going to do a light stretch here on the mat, real nice. Okay, if you have yoga blocks, that's always helpful too. Okay, obviously, once again, you could do this one from scratch, kind of cold, but I'm not going to take you all the way through because 10 minutes isn't enough to do. 10 minutes of stretching is better than nothing, but I will probably end up carrying on for 15 to 20-ish because it's just going to be leg specific here, okay? For me, and now it's going to be for you, yes, but I would probably do a much longer stretch session. So let's see what time it is so we can pay attention. 5:15, so we'll 10 minutes, so 5:25, okay? So we are doing a little yoga. So you got your yoga mat out. Let me get this lined up. Make sure we can see. Perfect, just like that. Yes, loving my 18-inch ring light, providing all sorts of beautiful light. Some yoga blocks are always nice too. Yeah, and then I'll carry you through whatever it is that I'm doing. Yeah, so, I'm just hitting the mat for the first time today here. I'm just going to get into here as a very loose down dog V-shape type of deal here. Pedaling out my legs. Yeah, my hamstrings are screaming, but the calves are actually kind of tight too. Yes. And as I start to slowly settle in, yes, my fingers are spread wide. My hands are active. It's like I want to make a full fingerprint, like when you go to the beach and you put your hand in the sand, right? You don't just put the heel of your hand into the ground or just the palm, right? Like you dig in with the fingers because there's something gratifying about seeing that whole handprint in the sand. Yeah, it's the same thing when you're on your mat. Think about your hands gripping into it and creating an impression. Yeah. And then slowly start to settle it back down with the legs. Good. Pushing out of the shoulders so that you're pushing away from the ground. Yes. And slowly slow down the pedal of the legs. Yes. We want this leg straight and locked out. The feet are parallel, hip width apart, and the heels are slowly sinking towards the floor. And then pushing the chest through the shoulders a little closer towards your knees. Shift forward into whatever high plank you've got right here. Nothing overly technical or specific. Just a comfortable first plank from whatever your spacing is. So if you are like me and you have looser hamstrings, that means that your down dog or your V shape is going to be closer between your hands and your feet. So when you shift forward into your plank, you'll actually notice that your shoulders will probably go past your wrists. Or if you're somebody who's a little bit tighter or you don't have good awareness as to where your V shape is, you might be spaced out further so that when you shift forward into your plank, it actually stacks up really well, perfectly, or your shoulders are behind the hands and you're like falling short of where the plank position should be. Back into our down dog shape here. Shift forward back into the top of the plank. This time I'll readjust if you need to for an actual plank, shoulders over the wrists. Yes, if you need to drop to the knees, you can, but hopefully you can hold this just for a few seconds right here. Good. Lower the pelvis. We're in up dog. Thighs are off of the ground. Arms are nice and strong. You're pushing out. Yes, the legs are still straight and locked out, so you're floating. I know you can't see me, but I know you can see that there's light coming underneath my body. I'm on my toes here. Switch over to the top of the foot. So you're pointing the foot, and now you're on top of it. Yes, right now we're in this lifted up dog. We're on the top of the foot. And the whole foot's not really touching. For me, it's pretty much the inner blade of the foot. If there was like a bone that came directly from my big toe straight up, and then the second toe, that's what it would be. Good. Now push back. Readjust, back up into your down dog shape, pedal it out a couple of times, walk your hands back towards your feet. We're going to go for our first forward fold. Woo! I did the hamstring machine, so if you haven't seen it, it's the one where you lay on your belly, kind of like your butt's up in the air, face down, ass up, right? And then you curl your heel, you bend your knee and your heel comes to your ass. All right, so I've been working on those ones. And then what I do is at the very last set, on my last rep when I'm totally done, is as I extend the leg back down to release the weight, I like to hold it like an inch, the weight stack right off of it, to have that extended engagement of the leg just to see how long I can hold there. And I can feel it in the hamstrings in a good way. It hurts so good. Good. Yes. So from here, we're in this forward fold. Yes, soft, little bend in the knees, tuck the pelvis, roll up to a standing position. Stand up nice and tall. Reach up with your hands out to the side like a T. Yes, keep a nice neutral spine or a flat back and fold forward. So it's kind of like you're bowing forward at the hips. And come down as far as you can without tucking or rounding. Yeah, so you're still sticking your butt out or kind of a tilt of the pelvis. How far down can you come? So the hamstrings might be one limitation. The other one might be the hips. Yes? Could somebody rest a bottle of water on your back? Maybe. If not, you could put your hands here on your knees. Try not to shift your weight back too much. Yes, so you're not booty back, not like this way back here. Yes, see if you can shift the weight forward. Yes, into and have the toes become have the toes become active so that you don't fall forward and do a face plant. Yes, but we shouldn't be rounding here. Yes, so peel this back, neutral spine, and you might be a little bit higher up here. That's okay. For some people, it's up here. That's where they're at. Here, and then relax all the way down. Now you can tuck and round, but the legs are still straight and locked out. We're going to do that again one more time. This feels good. Very needed. Slight bend in the knees, tuck the pelvis, roll up to standing. Straighten out the legs, stand up tall, reach the hands up, out to the side like a T. Once again, flat back as you fold forward. Try to push forward, lean forward as you fold forward versus as I fold forward, the booty goes back. Does that make sense? I mean, this is naturally what happens when you're counterbalancing yourself, but I want you to think about standing up tall, activating the toes, folding forward with less of the booty going back, and the booty only going back as much as necessary so you can hold your flat back. Yeah, boom. Can I go a little lower? Yeah, right there's good. Yeah. Now the booty does have to go back a little bit, but I am more in the toes. The toes are very active. And fold forward. Good. All right, some lunges and some other things. We're probably halfway there. This goes by real quick. Reset. You're back into your down dog shape. Pedal it out, settle in, and then stop moving. Good. Pick one leg up, take it straight behind you. Your hips are squared off with the floor. Okay, what does that mean? It means that you're not lifting the hips. You're not trying to lift the leg higher by opening the hip, which makes it feel like you can lift the leg higher. You can, but it's not in the right direction or the right alignment. Open up and stack the hips, and then bend the knee. Heel comes towards the butt. Look forward, step through, bring that foot through. We're in a low lunge, rock it out, front to back. Feeling it here on the outside. I need to, like a little baseball bat, you know, the ones that they give you when you go to the baseball park, like a souvenir. Pop, 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 pop. Need one to like bang out the outside here. A little tenderizer. Maybe I'll go get that from the kitchen. Oh my God, food products that are now making food tools, making it to the bedroom now. Rock it out. Good. Keep the rear leg straight and locked out. Little pulses of the pelvis towards the ground. Ooh, feeling it here within this lunge. It's good. 3, 2, 1. You notice I'm a little bit high on my fingers right here. So if you need blocks and you know this is difficult for you, yeah, you can use these to help support yourself, which is always nice. Yep. Good. Step the foot back, push back into your down dog shape. Take my blocks, push them back off to the side. I'm going to do the other leg. Reset yourself. Other leg straight up and behind you. Square hips facing the ground. Oof, it hurts so good. Good. Open up, stack the hips. Yeah, I have a nice stretch on the inside part of my leg here, on the bottom foot, on the bottom leg. Bend the knee, heel goes towards the booty. Look forward, step through, bring the rear foot through your low lunge. Maybe you need your blocks, rock it out, front to back. Yep. Or if we're looking for good alignment, ideally when we stop in this lunge position, your knee will be right over the ankle. You're going to have to trust me because it actually is. Well, what do I do if I'm too short? Well, you might have to move the rear foot up so that you can get the knee forward. If I had to choose, I would rather my knee be behind the ankle instead of in front of it so that I could push in. Good. Stop in the center, little pulses of the pelvis towards the ground. 3, 2, 1. Good. Step it back. top of your plank, push back, down dog. Take a couple breaths here. I'm going to see where we're at on the clock real quick. Oh, we're running out of time. Yep, 10 minutes goes by quick. Okay, I'll do a couple other things here. Once again, lift one rear leg straight behind you. Look forward, step it through. Once again, drop the rear knee, untuck the toes. Yes, if you need to roll the mat over and double it up, you can do that right there. It's kind of nice. Boom, use the blocks if you need to. Come up a little bit higher. Yeah, so now we're in a nice kneeling lunge here. My knee is actually perfectly over the ankle as I really sink in. So I kind of know where it needs to be in order to get a nice deep stretch here. Keep the hips squared off and facing forward so you're not opening and rotating. It's hard. Sink in a little deeper. Squeeze your butt even though you can't. Because you're lifted, you're stretching out the booty meat. But pretend like you can squeeze it. It's pulling, it wants to, but it's not going anywhere. Squeeze the left booty cheek or whatever rear leg you have. Yep, good. Tuck the rear toe, straighten the rear leg, step it back, stay high, bring the other leg right forward, wiggle it in and out real quick. Yes, boom. Drop the rear knee, untuck the toe, come up here into your lunge position. Once again, if you need to double up the mat, you can. This one's a little bit beat. Sink into a nice little kneeling lunge over here. I'm already feeling better. I feel like I need another 10 minutes on my hamstrings. Yeah, probably going to do some pigeons and stuff after this too. So you can choose your own destiny as to what else it is that you want to do. Well, we've already done 10 minutes. That's a good start, yes? If you want to carry on, I'll do a couple other things. But if you're just like, I only got time for 10 minutes, I'm out. Okay, that's what you paid for. Or you didn't pay for it, but that's what you're getting, right? I'm only here for the 10-minute class, not the 12, not the 15. Good. Coming forward, tuck the rear toe under, straighten the rear leg, step it back into your plank, push back, down dog. Maybe you're coming off of your blocks, resetting. We'll do a quick pigeon. This time as you're in your down dog position, settle in, make your feet as wide as the mat. So we got a wider stance in the rear. Fingers spread wide, hands are active. We're pushing into the ground and pushing away from the mat. And then from here, bend the knees. The heels will start to come off of the ground. It's like you're coming into a little squatty booty shake kind of position here. Good. Straighten the legs. Back up. Try to keep the hands pushing into the ground and the shoulders are pushing away. Push your chest through your shoulders. Hold this position. Bend the knees once again. You'll come up onto the ball of the feet. The booty starts to drop. So you start to get a little lower to the floor. Pause right here. Push into the floor a little bit further. Push the chest through. Straighten the legs. Yes. Feel that deep into the calves if you can. Good. From here, come back to center, readjust, release. Once again, take a leg straight out behind you, bring it through, down into our pigeon shape right here. Okay, my pigeons are poopy. Poopy Pigeons by Brandon. Yes, right here, okay? I can't get my knee up here. I can't get it like a 45. I don't have that rotation or any additional anything. Yes, I'm up here. You can't see it. I'm not rounding yet. Trying to have a fairly neutral spine while I'm in this position. My rear leg is straight out behind me. Okay, it's not locked out, of course, but it's straight. And then, this one's rough. Zaddy needs this. Good. And then start to come forward. My back is just barely starting to round. I'm starting to lose that neutral spine. My front hip is tight when I do this one right here. Good, and then come down the rest of the way, whatever that is for you. Now you could take a yoga block if it's really hard and stick it under the booty cheek as you're doing this if you need a little bit of support. Yeah. I like the pinchy. I like the no pain, no gain. It doesn't actually hurt, it just hurts so good. And it's nice knowing what that means. A couple more breaths, and then we'll switch sides. Maybe rock it and roll it out a little bit. Probably gonna have to get like some kind of a roller for my legs. We have one in the other room, but you know what I'm talking about. Looks like a rolling pin. Oh, look, it's a spider, a small one. Do you want to die? You're going the wrong way. It almost looks like an ant. Maybe he is, I don't know. Okay, and then working your way back out, okay? Hands are here. Ooh, my knee's in the way, so I'm gonna come to the inside. That's in front of me. Tuck the rear toes, straighten the rear leg, slide this leg out. Plank, down dog, shift it out, readjust, take a couple breaths here. Hips rock from side to side. Come back to center. Other leg goes straight out behind you. Look forward, bring it through. Lay shin down. Reset yourself here. Straighten the rear leg. Point through the foot. Oh, my left side. It's never going to get better. Once again, if you need a yoga block on this side, slightly out here behind the booty cheek has some support, you can do that. I'm just going to try and sink in and relax to it. Yes, I have a neutral spine here, so I'm not tucking, rounding, or slouching. I'm lifted like a proud little doggy. Tree? Tree? Repro raggy. I need this. And then now I'm going to start to fold forward from the hip first. Right about here. I can't go any further without compromising my spinal alignment. And, okay, fine. Everything starts to round. Oh, and I'm like sinking in. I'm like trying to push it a little bit deeper. Couple more breaths and then we'll shake it out and we'll wrap it up. All right, slowly working your way back out here. Hands underneath where the shoulders will be. Tuck the rear toe, straighten the rear leg. Slide this leg out. Back to plank, push back, down dog. Walk your feet towards you. Set up into your final down dog position. It's very loose, not hardcore. Good. Slowly start to walk your feet towards your hands. We'll end in a final forward fold. If you can keep your hands on the ground, if you have that range and flexibility in your legs, great. Hands are on the ground. Maybe it's just the tips of your fingers. But if you've got it, I want you to try and fold just a little bit deeper into your hamstrings, into your forward fold. Put a little bit of energy into the toes, so it's almost like you're leaning forward and they need to grip and push you back to prevent you from falling forward. It's almost like 80% is in the toes and only 10%. That math doesn't work out. 80% is in the toes and maybe 20% is in the heels. I'm not a smart man, Jenny. Good. From here, soften the knees, tuck the pelvis, rolling up. One vertebrae at a time. Reach the hands up. Stretch. Arch back. Look behind you. Drop the arms to the side. And shake it out. Okay? Cool, right? That was 10 minutes. What did it actually turn out to be? It almost turned out to be 20 minutes almost after that. So, hey, not too shabby, right? Cool. So, we got 7 days left. 7 days of Christmas left, yeah? 7 days, 7 days, 10 minutes a day. Okay, I'll see you all tomorrow. Let me know if you have any special requests, and we'll try and see if we can make it happen.